Whew, what a game, man. You know, the Vikings fans, they always love to talk trash, and I just love when good old Aaron Rodgers just puts a beat down on them. Some people were saying Aaron is washed up, he's not going to be a Packer for much longer. Come on. I've been saying he's going to be a Packer as long as he wants to until 2023, and I know this is just one game, but he literally threw whatever he wanted to do today. So what's up, guys? Bass here. This is going to be my first game reaction because I didn't do this part of my channel last year, so this is actually the first time I'm going to react on a game after it and go over my points on what I think about it. And there's a lot of good, it's a little bad, but there's a lot of good for this game. Great game by Aaron Rodgers in that offense, especially Davante Adams. So obviously the Packers won 43-34 in Minnesota. Minnesota did get a lot of garbage time yards and a touchdown or whatnot, but defense was a little shaky playing prevent when Packers had a decent lead, so that's part of my issue. But I'm going to start it off with the beginning of the day and pretty much say that the offensive line setup at the beginning of the day is exactly how I thought it would. Bakhtiari, Lucas Patrick, Corey Linsley, Lane Taylor, and then Elton Jenkins. I thought just keep your best guys out there, and that's exactly what they did. Obviously, going forward, Lucas Patrick was ruled out of the game, as was Lane Taylor. Lane Taylor was carted off the field, so hopefully it's nothing big, but being carted off the field is no joke. So the Packers should probably be calling Valdir right now. Early on, especially the first drive and continuing throughout the game, we saw a lot of jet sweeps and a lot of jet motions and all that. I loved that. I think that gave the offense a whole new dynamic, and it really made the defense sit for a second and think, are they going to handle on this jet sweep motion, or are they just going to run a stretch play? You know, and Tyler Irvin impressed me. He did exactly what I thought he was going to do and more, because I didn't think he'd get that much volume, but he did. This running back room is freaking stacked. It is the most depth running back room I've seen on the Packers in a very long time. So talking of starting as well, Robert Tonyan did get the start at tight end, but they put in all 4 tight ends. Sternberger got some reps. DeGuara got some nice reps. Really good blocking from DeGuara early on. A nice cut block on a jet sweep down. Lazard took out 2 defenders. Really liking what I see with him. Got a catch or 2. I think it's just 1, but DeGuara looking nice. And then Mercedes Lewis, you know what you have with him. And yeah, Tonyan doing some nice blocking as well. Speaking of blocking, Jamal Williams still easily the best pass blocking running back in the league. He had a lot of stuffs on blitzing backers and safeties, so that's good. They need to keep running him on third downs, especially when they're definite passing downs, because a lot of the times in the red zone early on in this game they went 5 wide and Aaron had a straight shot rusher right on him and he had no time to make a play. So I think they got to go away from that 5 wide on crucial third downs that are obvious passing plays, because the teams just send the house and he doesn't have much time. There's not enough separation created by the wide receivers to you know, get that first down. Speaking of red zone, they did get a little too cute the first couple. They went for it on 4th and goal. Should have been caught. You know, it was a good throw. Davante dropped it, but hey, Davante had a killer game other than that, so you can't fault him for just 1 play. So Zadarius Smith is still a freak as always. I think he had 1 sack and a few other pressures today. Just crazy Zadarius Smith as always. Nothing new there. AJ Dillon, the limited reps we saw, he had positive yards every single one on every single carry. I think he had 3 carries. The first one he got tied up. Took a while to get brought down. Second one, I think he had 9 yards. So look to see more of AJ Dillon in this offense as we go into the future to keep all these running backs fresh, and I'm excited to see more of AJ Dillon. So I'd obviously say the defensive game ball definitely goes to Jair Alexander. I'm wearing his jersey right now. That beautifully designed corner blitz that resulted in a Minnesota Vikings safety. Kirk Cousins didn't even know what was going on until Jair was in his face mask. And then of course the interception before half, which led to the MVS touchdown. Jair had a wonderful game, let up a touchdown at the end there, but it's garbage time, so I'm not really worried about that. Him and Kevin King played a wonderful game. So here's the topic and the main one for this game. So Davante Adams is the new daddy of Holton Hill, Mike Hughes, and Dantzler. And that's a fact, because Davante Adams took them to town and stole all of their lunch money today. He basically shit on every single defensive back in the Minnesota Vikings locker room, and that's not an opinion. Staying in the wide receiver room, inconsistencies with MVS still. I said I would eat my words if MVS started playing well, and he had that nice touchdown right before half, and I was like, you know what, I want him to be like that player. And then he had a couple really bad drops, and it's just the continuance of the inconsistency with MVS that scares me. Like I said, I've been saying it for a while. If he can just get out of his own head and just play consistently, he's a very solid receiver. Unfortunately, towards the end of the second quarter, Kenny Clark left with a groin injury and was ruled out shortly after. Didn't see any time in the rest of the game. Hoping it's nothing serious. It's definitely something to monitor. He's a big part of the defensive line in the run game, and it was clear as day because Cook started running, you know, decently well through the Packers run defensive line after that. So Aaron Rodgers today, as I said before, literally could throw whatever he wanted, and he hit it. And I think a lot of that has to be attributed to, he said in an interview a little bit ago that his arm, for the first time ever going into week 1, his arm doesn't hurt. He did a few more workouts in the offseason, like squats and whatnot, to get his legs more balanced for balanced throws. He obviously said he looked back at his 2010 tape and adjusted some things, so who knows what that means, but it obviously worked and it obviously looks good. He looked phenomenal today. Everything he wanted to throw, it was there. He should have had even more yards on that deep MVS bomb that he dropped. That would have been another touchdown. But yeah, man, I am very hype for Aaron Rodgers and the Packers offense this year. If it continues like this, he looked surgical today. He did whatever he wanted, and I think a lot of it has to do with the no stadium noise. He just got to do whatever he wanted. It wasn't loud. The Packers still took timeouts when the play clock was running down, which they need to fix up. But hey, if they score this many points, I'm okay with them taking those timeouts because you're going to win games. So, great game by Aaron Rodgers. As I said earlier, Lane Taylor was carted off. I think it was classified as a knee injury, which is not good, especially when you're carted off like that. I'm hoping it's something minor because Lane Taylor is going to be a big piece of this offensive line, and he will continue to be as long as he can stay healthy. Runyon came in after him, but like I said earlier, they should really get on the phone with Jared Valdir. That's just, I mean, at this point, they were down to like 5 linemen in this game when Lane Taylor left, so that's not good at all. But they did their job for who they were because Aaron Rodgers pretty much had a clean jersey. He only hit the ground once, and that was after a late push by a defensive lineman, and he barely hit the ground. So they did their job, but you need to have more depth. Like, you can't just run into the game with 5 guys, and Valdir is great depth and a great starter. So I'm looking forward to see what the injury report is with Lucas Patrick and Lane Taylor. So let's go to a little bit more of the negatives, in my opinion. The defense just looked way too soft and looked like they were always backing up on their heels. I think there needs to be big adjustments there with tempo and run game, or defensive run game, because they look very inconsistent. You know, some drives, it seemed if they stopped them on the first down play, like say they stopped Madison or Cook for, you know, a -1 or even neutral gain, it seemed like they would stop them that entire drive and get the ball back, but they were getting eaten alive on early runs in the drive, and early down runs were eating them up. So Cook, obviously expected Cook to, you know, have a good game. He's a great running back, but at the same time, I think they need to bring in someone else for one of those defensive end roles. I don't think Dean Lowry and Tyler Lancaster are going to cut it out, or cut it for when like teams like San Fran comes to town. Last but not least, I can't say this enough. I am so glad the Packers kept their foot on the gas, because time and time again we see them take a lead, whether it be 2 touchdowns or 3-score game, and they just dilly-dally the rest of the game. They play not to lose. This team is different. They played to win. They kept striking. They kept hitting. Foot on the gas, didn't stop, and got the W. Aaron Rodgers torched that entire defense. You saw him on the sideline drinking the grape, I think it was Gatorade. I'll post that as an overlay. King of Trolls, Master of Trolls. Overall, sum it up, Aaron Rodgers and Davante Adams show. They torched that defense. They couldn't do anything to stop it. I'm hyped for next week. I'm hyped to see what they can do against the Lions. So that's going to wrap it up for today. Just wanted to go over my thoughts on the game. Let me hear your thoughts on the game. There's not much negatives, but what did you like? What did you see that maybe that I missed out on? On that note, catch you guys in the next one. Go Pack, go.